Speak slowly.
Okay.
No, really, today I just woke up a few hours ago, so I'm pretty numb.
Okay. So, can you introduce yourself?
Do you want to introduce myself?
Yeah. Do you want to use your real name or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure about how you spell it.
Your real name?
Yes.
Well, it's okay. I can just get it off Facebook.
Yes, but try to spell it because I'm pretty sure that it will sound pretty weird.
It's Emanuele.
It's Emanuele Max Pelicioli.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
You can do only Emanuele Pelicioli.
Emanuele Pelicioli. Where are you from?
95%. Where are you from? I'm from Bergamo.
Okay. And so you're one of the people on the ground level where this pandemic has been like really hard hit. Um, Tell me everything that you've been feeling as a society and as an individual, and what you're keeping yourself, how you're keeping yourself safe from contracting the coronavirus.
Well, Bergamo is the town that has been most hit in Lombardy. That is my region in northern Italy,
Yeah.
and Bergamo had like 10,000 dead, I think, about coronavirus. That is basically the 80% of Lombardy, and these are not real data because the real data are four times less than what there is the reality of the phenomenon. For example, we have now in Italy more than 20,000 deaths about coronavirus. But in my region alone, that is Lombardy, northern Italy, 10 millions of inhabitants, it's like 70% of this death. So we have an average of uh, 13, 14,000 deaths in my region. And these are the official numbers, but the real numbers are pretty different because listening to doctors in this area, we have a rating that is four times bigger than official data. And this is from doctors that got people inside homes, so people stays inside their own homes. They died inside their own homes, and they are not counted as coronavirus, but in real they died for the sickness too. So we are trying to pass this time inside homes because we can't go out. We can go out for go to the market, for go to the store, for go to the pharmacy or to the doctor. We need to bring with ourselves the mask, the face mask that we have now. I don't have here because I left on the table, and we can't stay in group, so we can, for example, go in cinemas, to the concerts. So it's a lockdown basically, no more no less. I think that everyone know what means a lockdown in these days. So we have this from the last March 4, so it's more than 1 month and a half now that we are in this
Almost
situation.
2 months, yeah.
Yes, we are trying to get a sort of normality every day, trying to do the same thing that we did before. For example, smart working for who can work from home. Or, for example, chatting like now. We meet in Skype, we meet on YouTube, we watch movies together on YouTube, and we do other things like trying to stay sane in brain because it's really hard to stay inside on 24 hours a day. And I'm lucky because I live in an area that is not the real epicenter of the problem. So I'm at like at 15 kilometers from the main spot, from the hot spot of the coronavirus. And here the life is pretty quiet because we are just 3,000 people in one area that is big like Bergamo, and Bergamo is 100,000 people. So the people density in this area is not a lot, and we can go out. We can maybe go in the garden or maybe go out for a walk, and we have no problem to meet other persons because it's really an area with low density of population. So from this side, I'm lucky. But if you think that the towns like Milan, that are 3-4 millions of inhabitants in one area that is not so big, so they live in these big palaces and they can go out because for low you can go more far than 200 meters from your home, and just for real necessity. So you can go out if you don't have a real necessity to go out, and you risk a sanction that is from if I'm not wrong, from 500 euro, yes, to 1,500 euro, and judged to if you are positive to coronavirus. This is the situation more or less here now, and it's going a bit better in the sense that we don't have a lot of sick today. Yesterday were like 57 new positives. Today are like 41 every day at 6 p.m. We have a press conference from the region that says the real numbers of the problem. And today there is a drop of numbers. And we hope the next month, the May 4th, to reopen at last the basically companies and give to the people just a bit of normality, even if we know that this thing will go ahead for a few months more, so will be not the same anyway.
Mm-hmm. So when the news broke that the coronavirus had hit Italy, how long was it between that time and when you had to do the lockdown?
Well, this is this is an interesting question,
Yeah.
and can be also complicated to answer to this question because we had something that was a lot messy. Why? Because my region my region, Lombardy, started the lockdown before the rest of Italy, started locking down a part of a province of Lodi that is close to Milan and is the starting point of coronavirus in Italy. And it was the town of Codogno. So they closed like at the end of February. It became a red zone, so they closed totally at the end of February. Then the problem starting to be more severe, so they starting to close few provinces inside Lombardy. Then closed all the Lombardy at March 4th. Then Lombardy and other provinces in other regions like in Veneto, so Venice, so Verona, so Padua, they closed it too. And after all this mess, Rome said, okay, we close all the Italy. So it was not a thing really well coordinated. It looks like Rome didn't get the problem serious at the first. If you go to search, the words of first minister say that it was just a flu. So they didn't get the problem seriously. Then they started to make these temporary laws, and I want to show you a thing if you have a moment, because I don't have here. I have just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, so the problem is not the temporary laws. The problem is that they change the laws like the moon. So you see this piece of paper.
Yeah.
This is the self-certification that where you declare under your responsibility that you know about the measures of lockdown, and if you go around, you go because you have um, one of these reasons. So it's for job, for necessity, for health, like you have to go infirmity, or because you have to go home. Okay,
So you have to keep that with you?
this is the first. No, just a moment.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yes, yes, this is the first version. 3 days after, at midnight, they changed version, and you got another one. Just a moment, because I started to print then the first time, then I stopped it because they changed it like 5 times.
Oh, okay.
So, and you have this one. This is the same thing, but they add more reasons, and also because some lawyers say to the first minister that this piece of paper was basically toilet paper, they started to add the number of loaves and become more official. So if you break what you declare here, you risk the jail. Okay.
Okay.
So if you declare that you go for job and you are not going for job, you risk a sanction or the arrest. Okay.
Really?
Even if you are not positive, yes.
So how long is the arrest for?
I don't know because you get basically a penal uh, trial, a penalty trial. So it's not civil, it penalty. It's go on your personal file. So it's really severe. And the problem was not this piece of paper, was that changed it 5 times. So people was around with the wrong version, with another version, with the third version, with the third version. I have. I'm not joking. Look how many I have here.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
these are totally useless because
Yeah.
they are the old versions. So I've asked just 50 pages of paper to print nothing because they are totally useless now.
And so
The
that was
new
distributed to every household.
yes, but other person. The point is that at the moment they give you this. Just if, for example, I fill this. Okay, I fill my name, surname, my address, everything. Okay, I go in my car. I wear my mask. Uh, Police stop me. This piece of paper is useless because they have their own piece of paper. So you have to fill it. Okay,
That's
this is
ridiculous.
bureaucracy in Italy. This is bureaucracy in Italy. That is what really is killing this country. Not this is just an example. You have to think at things more complicated of this one, how they are managed.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, we need masks 2 weeks ago. My region needed masks. Rome sent masks that you can find them, I think, on Google. If you Google Lombardy masks,
Okay.
face mask, okay, they were basically toilet paper.
Oh
The
no.
president of Lombardy called them toilet paper. They were pieces of synthetic material, like 20 centimeter, to put on face. Totally useless because we asked for for surgical, for med stuff, not for that piece of paper. Okay, so we started to produce mask inside Lombardy. Some companies that maybe before they made it clothes, they started to make masks. They were not okay because they needed the okay from Rome, the certification that masks were okay from Rome. They waited 5 days to say, okay, you can give free these masks, not to pay, free to the hospitals, to the doctors, to the nurses. I wanted to remember that in Italy died 112 doctors
Yes.
for
I
coronavirus.
heard about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because they didn't have mask, or they use the same mask for 20, 30, 40 times, and you stay all on bureaucracy here, because if Rome don't say yes, you can do anything. That's the problem of, at the moment. Not the
Mm.
lockdown. We can deal with the lockdown because we are Italians. At the end, we stay in home, we stay with family. Maybe we start to yell a bit. Maybe we start to watch television, to go in internet, to stay with your partner or with your pet too. Because at the end, we pass it through worse time than this one. So
Yeah.
it's not a big problem. Maybe it's a problem for kids because they say, "Oh, but the poor kids are not so poor because they are pretty happy to stay home from school till September." So I don't know one kid that will say, "Oh my God, I can go to school till September." Oh my God, it's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah. So,
So
like, the daily activities of a child in Italy isn't affected as hard as, say, like in North America, where everybody is, well, most people are very social. So, your everyday life is surrounded around the home anyway.
yes, we have. I can tell about me, but I think that is the same for everyone. And just one because my mobile start. I don't know what listener started to blip. Anyway, my daily life is like I wake up, I do the breakfast like usual. Um, I go maybe out to drink the coffee outside in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
I see people in the other home. Hi, hi. It's like Indians with smoke signals, more or less. And when they start to come close, we say, no, 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 stay far, stay far. This was like 3 weeks ago. Now it's one, if you come, that it's 1 month and a half that we are all closing in home. We are not sick. So the cases are two, or we already had it without any symptoms, or we didn't have it, so we are fine. So it's not necessary to stay far each other like now, because the people that stayed home for 1 month and a half for sure are fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because 1 month and a half is not 1 week, it's 1 month and a half. So there is no reason now to stay close inside home all day long. And in fact, we start to go out a bit, just going around home. Maybe we meet like 1 hour ago. I was outside to speak with my friend. So at the end, we starting to go all like was before. Not the same because you realize that streets are empty,
Yeah.
that markets are closed. But the problem is that if we don't open soon, the markets will be closed forever because you can go ahead without money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point.
Yeah. But you
And
have a
for now,
job where you are able to stay at home.
yes, for my in my case, I'm lucky because I work from home. So for me, it doesn't change a lot from before because
Yeah.
I was not a big traveler also before. I feel the difference because I was used every day to go maybe to the bar in the other town, or go just to have a little trip on the top of the mountain because I'm on the mountains to watch the landscape. So it changed a bit. It
Yeah.
changed a bit, but not so much. My brother too in my house. I'm me and my parents. Now my brother moved from his hometown to here because his town now is much worse than here for coronavirus.
Okay.
So last month when started the problem, I told him move here because it's better than you stay here. Less people, less problems. Just to give you a number here, the population is 3,000
Okay.
people, and we have 19 cases. 19. not 90,
Right.
19 cases of coronavirus.
Yeah.
In his own town, that is 10,000 people, they had 155.
Ooh, wow. In his hometown.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So I told him, and my whole town, that is 4,500 people, not more. I think that they are not even 5,000. They had 55 dead for coronavirus. So it's 1% of population.
So, are there measures for people who are moving from one community to another? Like, do they have to self isolate for a little bit just to make sure that they're not going to infect anybody in their new community? Like your brother moving?
Okay, so you can basically there are a few rules now that we need to respect. You can go out from your hometown. So if you live in Bergamo, you can go out from Bergamo. You can go in Milan, for example. You need to stay in Bergamo. You can move inside your town, but you can go out from your town. You can go out if you are sick, and I don't mean that if you have coronavirus, just if you have a little flu or a cold, you
Yeah.
can go out. Basically, they tell us to stay home even if you have just a line of fever, a line of temperature. You can go out because a lot of people didn't have the complication of pneumonia. They just had a cold, but this doesn't mean that it was not coronavirus. So the region decided to treat each case that is just a bit more than a simple cold like coronavirus.
Okay.
So they don't even ask you to give the, they don't even test you. They just treat you like you have coronavirus, even if you don't have it.
Yeah.
it it's just for safety. And then you can go, like I said, out from your hometown. Apart if you have necessity, like you work in for a company that deliver food or for anything, any way that you need to do, because the first assistance staff still active and you can stop the work of that, like delivery services or food services. So you can go out if you have a real necessity to go out,
Okay.
if your job is part of the jobs that are approved to go ahead. We can go far more than 2,000 or 200 meters from home. Like you can go out of home, but you can go far from the. Then no one checks here. In towns, yes. Here, no one, because they know that even if you go at 500 meter here, change nothing. There are no people around, so
Yeah.
it's hard. It's just hard to find someone else in normal situation now is impossible. So and then you can go to the grandparents. Even if you are fine, you can go to the grandparents.
Okay.
So if they live in another house, you can go to them.
Yeah.
You can't meet them. You need, when you stay out of home, you need always, and this is mandatory, to wear the mask.
Okay.
Even if you go just out of your home to walk, you need to wear the mask.
Okay.
Okay, then I repeat you, here no one check, but
Okay.
in towns, really they check and they give sanction.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the basically what is going on now. Then they are speaking about to relay some freedom from next week, but we will see then.
Right. Hmm. Now, you had some family that were directly affected with the coronavirus.
Yes, I had an uncle, uh, then died. That was not my direct uncle; was the uncle of my mother,
Oh, okay.
and died for the complication of coronavirus, not for coronavirus per se, but for the complications of coronavirus. Who was not so fine before, so coronavirus gave the last hit and he died for about that. Then I had another uncle that had it and got healed, so it's fine. And a few friends also with coronavirus, and they are fine too now. So
Okay.
at the end, 90% of people that I know got outside it pretty fine.
Yeah.
Then a 10% died. That was my uncle and few friends that I know. So the younger one was only 45. So it's not true that gets only old people.
Right. Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah.
It gets also, it depends by person to person, because I think that we are thinking here that we already did this virus. Every one of us did this virus, so we already passed it through it, and probably our bodies just reacted very well. So maybe we had a line of flu, or maybe we had a bit of cold, but nothing was so severe to think that was coronavirus. But we think that we did already everyone this virus here.
Okay.
The problem is that in some people it starts to make a big pneumonia, and if you are not carried in time, you risk to die suffocated. And this is the big problem, because the hospital was totally crowded of people, so you didn't have the possibility to get the cares you needed in time. That was the big problem, not the
Yeah.
virus per se, because at the end, the number of young people dead for the virus is really low. It's really low. Its biggest numbers are all over 70 years old. But the problem of Italy is that 33% of population is more than 65 years old.
Yeah.
That's the big problem of this country. That is not a problem. It's a problem in case of this virus. And the social life of, I don't like to call them old people, because in Italy you are not old till you don't die. Basically,
Okay.
when you die, you are old. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you call, for example, a 90 years old a person, you say, "Oh, hey, granny," you risk a broom on the head, because really, people here stay healthy till 100 years.
Yeah.
So, and they have a social life, a really active social life. I remember for example, my grandmother died last year. She was 98 and went to play bingo every day
Yeah.
alone, working for 1 mile from home to the bingo room. So they really have a social life that is really active, even if they are maybe 80, 90 years old.
Mhm.
And this was the main reason that um, basically made the virus to kill all of them, because it was enough one sick and they starting to spread the virus inside the bingo halls, the churches, and all the other places, the parks, and all the other places where old people starting to go.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have a large population of elderly people in Italy because, and like we see the numbers and they're humongous. We have some people probably there as well. You said you knew somebody who was 45 years old who had passed on from coronavirus. And we're finding that there may be a chance that people can get coronavirus a second time. Like there's no immunity to it after you receive it the first time. But they're still trying to find out if that is possible.
Yes, we are not sure about that. I just heard yesterday evening on television, they were speaking about that. And there are two schools about that. One says that the first time you get the virus, you have like
Immunity.
anticorps immunity
Yeah.
for 2 3 weeks after the first time. The second school thinking that in real is 2 3 years, because they don't know really how the virus work, because they think that if the virus act like Ebola virus, so you have like 2 3 years of immunity.
Yeah.
If the virus works like a cold or a flu, a seasonal flu, so you have 2 3 weeks only, and this is only to they don't really, I don't think that they really know what is going on, because it's pretty complicated for the moment to understand how the virus is working. We
Yeah.
just get news every day. One day they say one thing, the day after they say another thing. So
They're calling it slippery because it keeps changing.
yeah, at the moment the best thing to do is to stay home, at least till we can stay home, because
Yeah.
when the money will end, we need to go out in a way or another.
Yeah.
Maybe wearing the mask, maybe not sneezing on face of people that I want to remember that is rude to do in any moment, even without coronavirus, to sneeze on people.
Oh yeah.
So it's not necessary that there is coronavirus. Just don't do that. It's really gross. So
Yeah.
I want to tell people that is watching us.
So
It's really
here in
gross.
North America, they're saying 6 feet rule, so 2.5 meters between people. And in some situations, like on the work site where I'm at, a lot of people have to work within a confined area. So what they're doing is they're allowing people to work within a confined area, but they all have to wear masks and they all have to be very conscious about their breath spreading out to other people. Um, you and I were talking about I think your country has like a 3 foot rule. It wasn't as wide as 6 feet.
No, we have 1 meter,
Oh, 1 meter. Right. Okay.
just 1 meter,
Yeah.
to wear masks. And anyway, offices are closed. So no one is in an office now.
Yeah.
They're working from home.
Yeah.
So there is not, or offices open are really few in the whole country, I think. And this is only about logistic stuff and nothing else. Or maybe mm, hospital laboratories
Yeah.
and that stuff, because and their stuff, because normal offices are all closed. So there is not this problem to stay close to another person, because at the moment no one is going to the office.
Yeah.
If you go outside, you have to get 1 meter distance from one to the other. Then in my region they say 1 meter and a half, so is a bit more. If you go to the market, for example, they allow 20 person inside at time, so the other need to stay out to wait.
Yeah.
You get your number, you wait. Even on this case, it's not a problem for us here, because we are not a lot, so it's basically impossible to get to wait outside. Even 20, it's a lot for a market in this area.
So
So I went yesterday to buy something to eat, and there were like 10 person inside, and it was and that is the biggest mall in the area. So while in towns like Milan, you can get a lot of problems, because if you have 2 millions of people that goes out to get food, even if you have 1,000 of stores inside the town, you have problems, because you get 1,000 person every store. So
yeah.
that is the worst thing in big cities. For lucky, we don't live all in big cities, but most of Italians live outside the big cities, so it's a problem that for me, maybe I'm a bit egoistical, but you want the service, you want the food home with delivery service and everything else. Okay, you live in city, you get fast internet, you
Yeah.
get all the commodities of the world. When there is a crisis, I stay quiet and you stay waiting outside the market. That's the life.
Mhm. Yeah. 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 And that's becoming commonplace here as well. Having to stand outside and waiting your line and like
Yes.
I try to like on the weekends I try to go as early as I can, like right when the grocery store opens, so I don't have to wait in line, and then I can get on with the rest of my day. But what's happening is we are having to line up around the block, and our weather is going to start to turn in a day or two. At work yesterday, I started to feel raindrops, and like, what are we going to do? But you mentioned that you have a number system. Like, people call your number, you can go in? Because that would
No,
be super handy here.
it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
They have just 20 cards outside.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
so if cards are ended, you need to wait who comes out, get the card, and go inside because you can't go inside without card.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
remove it. They had like 100 cards. Okay, they removed 80. They left only 20,
Okay.
and only 20 at a time. The other just wait. There is a number to take if you want to take the number. Maybe if there are outside 20%, okay, you take the number. But
Yeah.
if you are outside in 3, 4%, you don't take the number because you remember who arrived first and who arrived last.
Yeah.
So just when you arrive, you ask who is the last one. Like when you go to the doctor, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is the last one? Me. Okay, after you, there is me. So that's the way how things works here. In the towns, it's a bit more messy because I told you they are a lot, so they need to deal with the other problems. Like you told me, they start to flip around the block.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they start to make these long lines, and the end of the line is in front at another store. So it's it's
That causes an
impossible
issue.
to manage this because I think that people should start to think that this is an emergency, and after we starting to see the results after 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, more or less. Just is not a lot that we starting to see the result of this because it need to change the mind, change the way to do stuff. Maybe you were used to go at Monday to do at Monday to the market and on Friday to the market. Okay, no, you can go to at Monday, Friday because you know that Monday, Friday are the day where there are more people around,
Mm-hmm.
so you need to go, but at the end you are at home, so it's not important that you go on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. You are at home, you go when you want. It just they need really to change the mind and get used that this is an emergency that will not end next month, will
Yeah.
go ahead for a few months more. So or they adapt or they go crazy.
Have you
And
noticed?
then
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's not nothing,
Okay.
just
Have you noticed anything from the market shelves that people were starting to hoard? Like
no.
toilet paper.
No,
Because here, did you hear about the toilet paper here? Massive. Like people thought, okay, virus.
I know about your country and the rest of the world in Rio because I see everywhere the same show, and they say, "Why they get all that toilet
I
paper?"
don't know.
No,
It's not going to solve anything.
here I think that miss just flour, okay, flour because the meals that make flour
Right.
need and they need some special treatment for sanification, okay, for make them healthy because they use powder, so it's powder, so they need to have more stuff to prevent the spreading of virus, okay,
Right.
and they close for 1 week, 2 weeks more or less, so we had less flour, and our pasta for the first 2 days we had a short of pasta, but not that miss it totally, just a short, like instead you have 3 tons of pasta because we are in Italy. You had 2 tons of pasta. Okay, that's for an Italian. It's weird because you go inside. Where is pasta? It's missing. No, it's not missing. There is less than usual. Yes, but it's missing. No, because maybe we want spaghetti number 5, okay, and you go there is spaghetti number 3 and you say, oh my god, this pasta is missing. So it's that the situation here. We
Right.
never had a big assault to the stuff here in my region. At least I know that Milan had one day of craziness, but not really, not like we saw outside Italy. Outside Italy, we were watching
Yeah.
television. We have, oh my god, what is going on there? So,
I can imagine
and
we
why
were the
toilet
laughing
paper?
stock, yeah, of the world.
And why toilet paper? I don't understand this thing of toilet paper.
I don't know either. And like I saw lots of, you probably saw them on Facebook as well. People with their armfuls of toilet paper and doing videos with toilet paper. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, and
They
there's
need to
people that
build
are,
maybe the castles with toilet paper to play inside.
yeah, you never know.
Maybe a fort with toilet paper. You can use it for let the kids play.
Well, I mean, I think grandkids are going to be inheriting that same toilet paper for years, you know? Um, so, is there anything from this that you find a positive from the pandemic?
Yes, yes, few things,
Yeah, go
few
ahead.
things for you. First, we never had an air so clean because really, I told that I live in mountains,
Yes,
okay, and usually it's pretty clean,
because
but
you're
not
right at
like
the foot
that.
of the Alps.
Yeah, but it's not like that. You saw if you saw maybe some pics about Milan
Yeah,
on the internet, you see rabbits in the parks.
yeah,
You see sky that is ultra blue, and they want to remember you that Milan is in the middle of Padana Plain, that is the one of the most polluted place in the world,
yeah,
and rarely the sky in Milan is not gray. Okay,
yeah,
so you see this sky ultra blue in Milan, no fog, no dusk. You see the Alps behind. Here you see flowers everywhere. You go in towns, you see flowers everywhere. You see the fishes in Venice. You see the dolphins. The foxes around the town. The deers. Last day there was a deer here outside my home. I know that there are deers here, but I didn't see them so close to my home. So this is a positive stuff. And the other positive stuff is that people is learning the passions because it's really learning to be patient. So after this, I hope that they will start to be more quiet, especially when there are stupid things and they start to yell. They starting to learn the passions about things. So
yeah.
they learn it to wait, they learn it to stay quiet, and I hope that will. Yes, I hope because at the end I know that we return all like before, but
I hope
what I can
not.
do nothing. So I just
Yeah,
this is the positive things I think.
yeah. One other question. What are the habits that you've developed from the pandemic that you will try to carry out into the rest of life after the pandemic has ended and everybody can go back to normal? Or like our definition of normal, I guess.
Mm. Making food.
Making food. Yeah.
Yes, because
Cooking with your
I
family?
was I can tell you the truth. I'm one that I have no problems to cook. Okay, so I make food every day if I want, but I don't want usually because I say if I want sushi, I go to the Japanese restaurant. If I want to eat the soya spaghetti, soya noodles with shrimps, or I don't stay here in home to prepare them. I go to the Chinese restaurant. If I want to eat, I don't know, ribs, I go to the roadhouse house that make ribs. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I started to make ribs. I started to make sushi. I started to make Chinese food, ravioli, and everything I can go to eat outside home. And I'm saving a lot of money because really, with 10 euro, I can buy like 1 kilo and a half of ribs, for example.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with 10 euros, I eat four ribs in the restaurant. Four. 4 to 1.5 kilos.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
really, it's something that I want to go ahead to do also after this pandemic, and to plant potatoes inside water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know about that. My friends had told me, hey, no, because I went to my home, to the home of my friend, to carry some food like 1 month again, and they say, oh, woman, what a nice plant you have at home. It's a potato. Always a potato. That one. Potatoes are underground. No, no, it's a potato. Okay, and he rises these leaves and he showed me the potato inside the water,
Yeah.
and I said, oh, wow, I will try to do it. And I did it. It's already long like that. It's a thin long like that. Now it's starting to spread leaves everywhere. And I said, I have intention to cover all my fireplace with potatoes inside water. And now I'm trying also with avocado.
Yeah.
Also, I'm in electronics, so I built a radio last day.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
I didn't know what I
That's
built a
awesome.
radio.
But you had it working too.
Yes, but I work by night usually, so I make I make hubs and for radio station basically, and I manage streaming servers. So my job is like Christmas light. I have maybe some moments where I work like a crazy man, and after 10 minutes I'm totally quiet for maybe 5 hours, 6 hours. So I have to deal with this thing, and I starting to make stuff.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I didn't know what to do. I said, maybe I build a radio, and I built a radio, and it works. That's a fun that works. It didn't explode at all. And
Well, that's
no,
a
because
success.
with me, it's important that you never know. I'm turning it on.
Yeah.
Works.
Not bad.
Arab stations.
How far do they reach?
I think all the war because yesterday got Thailand.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Ne reviennent plus, on craigne qu'on ne revienne plus à au fonctionnement démocratique normal.
So it works.
Yeah. That's very
And
cool.
then probably it will end in the trash can at the end of this pandemic because it looks like a monster, but I don't know where to place it because it's horrible to watch.
Well,
So
you know what you can do? You can take up wood crafting and make like a beautiful case for it. Like they used to do in the old days.
yes, I no, I have already one. Look, 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 look.
Okay.
See,
Oh yeah, that's an old one. That's a beast.
I have 5 of them. So look behind me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I
Wow. Hold on those.
have a collection of radios that is like last number was 185 radios.
Oh my god.
Yes, I have radios everywhere. If you really, every side I watch, I see a radio.
You're a little bit
So
obsessed.
no, it's not obsession. It's war. It's worse than obsession. This one because if someone touch my radio, I think that I can go really close to kill it. So it's something more than an obsession. This one, but I like because I don't know why I like them. There are people that like to collect stamps. I
Yeah.
like to collect radios.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we're audiophiles, so we really love audio.
hmm?
Radio, audio.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, no, I started like radio, so I can tell that I starting to destroy little radios in when I was 2, 3 years old because I was curious to see was going to speak around inside that box.
Yeah.
Why that box speaks and the other box not? That was my main idea when I was a really tiny kid because I think that I was I started to destroy radios before to start to write and read. So
Oh, that's
I
cool.
know that The first thing that I went to the library to get was a book about radio, and I was 6 when I built the first one. So this one is a bit more complicated than the first one. The first one I built was really easy but worked. And my father say, "How the heck a 6-year-old make a radio? I made a monster."
Well, they're pretty basic on the inside, actually, like copper wires and
Yeah, you
put
see
some
only the
shit
you
together.
see
I
only
just read a book called
you
All
see
the
the, you
Light
see
We
good-
Cannot See. Yeah,
this is the coil, but then there is also the circuit part. And
right.
this was not I was not able to make it when I was 6. This will come
Yeah, that was a
later
little bit more
after the school. This
complicated.
one.
Yeah.
So that's why it works so well and it gets so well because at the end it's a normal radio like the one you buy. So just all made on a wood. What is this one? Just a wood stick, more or less.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna wrap this up a
Anyway, this
little
is
bit.
sorry.
We're gonna wrap this up a little bit. We've almost been on for an hour. I was just wondering, is there anything you want to say to your country, the rest of the world, your politicians, like a sincere message to all of us who are in lockdown as well?
Okay, I can say a message for the people that at the moment stay inside on lockdown, not to the politics because it's useless. It's like to speak with a dog, with the difference that dog barks back and politics not. So it's it's totally useful. It totally is useful to speak with politics. Also, Italian politics that don't understand English, so it's totally useful too.
Yeah.
Useless. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
totally useless too. I want to say something of useful to who stays inside home in this time. Okay, folks, we are inside home from 42 days. So, first, don't complain for everything after 2 weeks because really, we should be crazy. Don't say that you go crazy because we passed 45 days here and we are not crazy. So, means that if we are not crazy,
Present company
will be not crazy
excluded.
too. Okay. And don't tag everything with some I stay home, I stay home, I stay home. We understand that we need to stay home because if we go out, we get a sanction, so we stay home or we are idiot. That's the point.
Yeah.
So this is what I want to say to the people is to stay home, do what you want and what you can. Try to have a good time with your family. If you don't have a family, try to have a good time with your dog, your cat, your parrot, your snake, your scorpion, your tarantula, whatever you have in your home. Okay?
Yeah.
If you don't have anything, try to search in some corner. Maybe you find a spider, and it's sure that you find a spider. So get the spider, place it inside a box, and stay to speak with you and to talk all day long with the spider. Don't worry, no one will think that you are crazy because they are all closed inside homes. If you don't have even a spider, well, do something else. There are puzzles.
Cooking.
There is crosswords. You can go also with drag if you want. So maybe you travel with the mind. No, if you can go out with body, maybe
We
you
don't
can go
want to
out with
encourage
mind.
that.
It's not a suggestion because I don't want to be a bad example because I don't smoke, I don't drink, and basically I have the same life of the Pope. So, I'm the last one that should ask you to use drugs. Anyway, what I want to say is, what I mean is, it's just an holiday, okay? Get it like an holiday. An holiday where you can do what you want. It's not jail, it's an holiday. If you think that is jail, you start with the wrong fit.
Yeah.
If you think that is an holiday, so maybe you can think Today I will wake up at 10 a.m. instead to 8 a.m. I will have maybe the breakfast at bed. I will wake up. I will go in the garden to get a sun tan because now it's starting to have a bit of sun. Why not?
Yeah.
I can go to the swimming pool. Okay, get my bath tube. I fill it. I stay inside maybe 2 3 hours with a bit of music. I go to make some crafting like I did. So there are tons of things that you can do.
Yeah.
Even if you are lazy. If you are lazy, you can sit down and watch television. There is Netflix, there is Disney Plus, there is everything you want. So just have patience, stay home, and go ahead. We'll end. Sooner or later, we'll end.
Yeah. Are there any favorite charities you want to give a shout out to?
The problem of that is that we have like 5 or 6 here to donate it, and I think that the most reliable one is the Civil Protection Protezione Civile Italiana. They have they have this website that I don't know if I can spell it correctly in English.
Or
Uh,
like when we post the video, maybe put a link in the comments for it.
yes, I will send you the link. Is better
Okay.
because there is the IBAN code to send the donation for the civil protection. That is who is in this moment is giving the bigger help. They made also two hospitals, one in Milan and one in Bergamo for the emergency. They did all the work with the Alpine Army
Okay.
and volunteers. They made two hospitals in basically 10 days.
Yeah.
So they were even more fast than Chinese. Um, and they need money because they are the one that go home by home to carry food to the whole people, to give masks free. So they are really really good in in these things, and they are
Awesome.
collecting a lot of money also
Okay.
because people know about that and prefer to give money to them than um, to other association basically.
Yeah. I'll probably send a little bit of money too.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I usually
Really.
do to the cat charities that you post on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Usually I give to I give also to the civil protection. I don't give to the state because I give already taxes to the state. So I don't know why they have to ask more money to me that
Yeah.
we are taxes at 45%. Okay, 45. So means that if I earn 1,000 euro, 450 go to the state.
Yeah.
So why they have to ask me more money? Okay, civil protection is part of the state too, but it's made by volunteers. So
Yes.
at the end, it is not politic. Okay, and is the one that I prefer to give, or that, or to hospitals, directly to the hospitals or to the local civil protection if you do want to go through the national one.
Mhm.
There is civil protection for every region, for every province. So really, you can go to give money only to the part of the town you want to give money. Because also with this
Okay.
stuff, with the charity stuff, there is always the risk that you see, especially in Italy, happened in the past that we gave money for earthquakes and money poofed. Okay,
Oh, really?
so yes, and we are still trying to search that money, and they use for to do everything, other things that had nothing to do with earthquake, and they still to wait in the house in the earthquake zone. So I prefer to do pass through the state because I'm
Yeah.
not sure where the money will go.
Yeah.
Sadly, that is a problem of Italy, and I prefer to go directly straight to the source of help and give money to them.
Sounds good. Okay. So we're going to
It's
wrap
one
up.
hour.
Yeah,
It's
it's
one
been an
hour.
hour. Oh, almost exactly, too. Um,
Yes.
thank you so much. You're like my first live interview, and you and I have known each other since 2014 through a Second Life gaming platform. I think this is the first time we've been face to face, too.
No, second.
Second?
We did on Skype.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, long
When I
time
was in
ago.
my old house and I
Yeah.
show you my dog, remember?
Oh, yes. But you didn't see me. I only saw
No, no,
you.
I saw you
You saw me?
also.
Oh,
Yes, you
okay.
had longer hair and black.
Yeah. And I'm surprised none of your cats came by and paid a
No,
visit.
they are upstairs because they are preparing food, and
Oh,
my
okay.
father is making a barbecue to make chicken on the barbecues tonight
Nice.
and sausage. All
Yes.
about here. It's all food coming from a range of 1 mile from here.
No, that's perfect.
Yes, because here you know about Italians that we love to eat all fresh. So in this condition, he's even fresher than usual.
Yeah.
So we just eat what we see out of home. I think that I saw this chicken around here. So no, but really, because there is a butcher house just at 1 kilometer from here,
Yeah.
and they grow everything here in town. So if you buy milk, it's milk from cows from here. If you buy cheese, it's cheese made with the milk of cows and goats from here.
Nice.
If you buy meat, sausages, pigs everywhere, or even greens are all from here. So really, better of this, I don't think that I can find.
Yeah. Well, you better start planting those potatoes too. Just do like a big dirt mound and
I
then
have
start planting
potatoes and
them.
tomatoes
Yeah. Tomatoes too.
and beans in peace.
Okay, my friend, I'm going to stop the stream. Thank you very much, and I'll grab those links for the charities from you to put into the comments. Any parting words?
Stay safe, stay home, and thank you.
Okay. I will keep our screen up, and then we'll just chat a little bit more while I stop everything.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how do I stop it? Oh, there. Oh, that was awesome.
You understand what I said?
Oh, everything.
Okay, perfect. Because I needed to warm up when I start to speak English. Then I start to speak fast, and I don't understand even what I say. So
Oh no. Well, I mean, you only had an issue with useful.